So this is part two in our introduction or basic series, and this one is on cholesterol.
Yes, so today I'm going to start out by asking Ford, tell me, we all hear about LDL, bad cholesterol, and that is the data point that's put forward to us when we meet with our internist. How is our LDL? In our practice, we look at things a little bit differently. We look at triglycerides and HDL and look at that ratio. Can you define these types of cholesterol and what they mean to patients?
Sure, when we were talking about this video, one of the things you brought up was the dump truck analogy. Amy in our shop, or who used to be in our shop, used to use that dump truck analogy a lot. She said that LDL, which is what most people call the bad cholesterol, is like a full truck, and HDL is like an empty truck. And what she's referring to is that HDL pulls cholesterol away from the body back to the liver so the liver can burn it up. Whereas LDL, on the other hand, is taking cholesterol out, and it is full, and it does tend to dump it in the arteries.
Okay, so getting a little more specific about it, I mentioned there's a triglyceride HDL ratio. What are we looking at there, and what is the importance of each of those numbers, and why in our practice do we look more at those numbers versus LDL?
Well, first of all, you bring up that point. Why does everybody focus on LDL, and why do we not? We went down this path in medicine 100 years ago. What happened was they noticed that plaque in arteries was made up of LDL. That's most of what plaque in arteries is, and still is. It's oxidized LDL. So logically, that's where we headed down that path that turned out to be incorrect. That, well, if you eat cholesterol, then you'll get plaque. And most of us know that's not the case. But still, we don't have a better model in medicine yet, or we haven't really focused yet on a better model. There's a fellow named Paul Ridker, a really smart guy at Harvard, who began to see this 20 years ago and has been pushing that. It's not LDL, it's inflammation.
Okay, so we're saying that maybe LDL is not the villain that we've been told it is. There's something else that's more important.
Yes, so it's a really good point. And where's the logic there? Here's the thing. If you look at people that have had heart attack, half of them have a normal LDL. So we keep running around saying, well, LDL is the problem. And you go see your doc, and your doc, what does the doc do? They look at the LDL. All of the risk, or most of the risk paradigms for treatments for statins and things like that, all focus on LDL level. But again, it breaks down really quickly when you realize half the people having heart attacks have a normal LDL. So there's something else going on.
So you referred to the empty dump truck with HDL.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of brings us more into what HDL and triglycerides mean, and why is that ratio important?
You've been getting to that HDL and triglycerides a couple of times, and thanks for your patience on me getting there. The first thing I look at when I look at a cholesterol panel is not the LDL. It's triglycerides over HDL. And why is that, and what does that show me? That actually shows me something very important about the carbohydrate metabolism, our ability to manage glucose or carbohydrates when we eat them. Why is that? Because again, what we found is that it's not LDL, it's diabetes, prediabetes. And triglycerides over HDL is a very important warning of prediabetes or insulin resistance.
Let me just stop you there 1 second. When he says triglycerides over HDL, if you have those two numbers on your labs, you are doing a division formula of triglycerides divided by HDL.
Right. So to get back to another question that I think you asked, and maybe I jumped over, triglycerides. What are triglycerides? triglyceride, a triglyceride molecule is 3 fatty acids hooked together by glycerin. In other words, another way to look at it is it's our jelly roll here. It's our saddlebag. It's our fat stores. That's triglyceride.
Okay. So then if we're looking at that ratio or that division problem and we get a number of 1 versus 3, can you explain what does that mean for heart attack and stroke? And are we looking for a larger number in the HDL, which is the denominator, to offset the number in the numerator, the triglycerides, and why that's important?
Well, for a second, let's just forget about denominators, numerators, stuff like that. Here, let's use some real numbers.
Okay.
Let's say a patient has, or I have, a triglyceride level of 150 and an HDL of 30. Then that 150 over 30 is 5.
That's really bad.
That's a really bad number. On the other hand, I've seen several patients just over the past week that had HDL numbers higher than triglycerides. They had a triglyceride in the 60s and an HDL in the 70s.
So that's less than 1.
That's less than 1.
Which
it's
is a
really good
great
number.
ratio.
I'm very jealous. I haven't had that in a long time. I tend to be around 1.5. So 1 and below is really, really good. 1.5 is starting to get there. 2 and above is a very strong indicator that you have insulin resistance.
Okay.
In other words, your body is constantly fighting against high glucose levels, so it's putting out a lot of insulin. Here's why this happens to your ratio. Insulin keeps your body from burning fat. It wants you to burn sugar, so it stops the fat burning, so your triglycerides just start going up. In addition, when that happens, your HDL, that empty dump truck, is overworked. You don't have any more empty dump trucks now because they're trying to pull all of those fats back out of the artery wall.
To the liver.
To the liver, so the liver can burn those fats up.
Okay. So that's the importance. It's the ratio, but it's important knowing what those numbers mean that go into it and what the value indicates in terms of your diabetes, prediabetes, diabetes, and heart health.
It's a good point. I tend to get focused on connecting the dots because it's hard to remember things like a ratio. If a ratio is just a number, then it doesn't mean very much.
No, you have to understand what goes into it. Well, I think that's all for our introductory video today, unless you want to add anything else.
That's it. I hope it helps get that message across and helps create some understanding of what we're looking at here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you hit the like button, and for sure if you subscribe or share, the algorithm reads that as a strong message that humans think this is interesting and important information. And the algorithm can share it more than any of us humans. Speaking of sharing, one of the best ways of sharing is on social media. We've got active Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn activities going on right now. We've recently started up things in Pinterest and Twitter, so we'd love to see you there. Check us out. Finally, with over 500 videos, a lot of people are saying, I can't find this video or that video. Our new social media manager, Kim Hermosa, is starting to work on ways to help with that. So join the community. You can click on the links below and you can get a little bit better access. Thank you again for your interest.